There are roughly 100, 110 photographs in the exhibition here. They're drawn from the Solander collection, which currently has about 1,000 objects in it. And the selections were intended to show the range and the excitement and the dynamism of photography. There are some very well-known names in the exhibition, people like Edward Weston, Ansel Adams, Robert Frank, Diane Arbus, but we've thrown them together with photographers that you may not have heard of. The great New Zealand modernist Una Garlick, or wonderful African studio photographs. There's a little bit of an emphasis on feminist photography from the 1970s, including people like Valia Export, who greets visitors as they come off the lift. And what we've tried to do is make connections between things that don't always get connected in regular museum exhibitions. So what we've done here is try to create something that's more inclusive, more welcoming, where visitors, no matter their position on photography, no matter their background, will feel comfortable and interested in what they see.
When we collect for Solander, we're looking for the gaps in photo history. We're looking for the traditions that haven't been represented across a more diverse, a more egalitarian spectrum. We're trying to show also how photography is its own visual language in a way that is not just following a fine art trajectory and making historic connections that might ultimately go back to the Renaissance. We're looking at photography as a language in and of itself that's wide and universal, and on which we can put all kinds of ideas and concepts, and it can be something for everybody.
And if I may add to that, it almost goes without saying, but we want to find photographs that we love. And so it's the things that get under our skin and that really move us and that we feel a sort of psychological charge with. And it means that when we see the things on the wall, and this is the second time we've seen this as an exhibition, we actually get excited about what we see, and we're excited to share that with visitors as well. This is titled An Alternative History of Photography, but it was never meant to be a chronology. So what visitors won't see is sort of dry 1850s, 1860s, 1870s kind of progression. And frankly, we don't believe in a progression, not a linear progression anyway. So what we've tried to do is look at pockets of thought, ways of seeing, ways of thinking about photography, and look at that as a kind of progress through the history of the medium. And so what visitors will see something that's broadly chronological, but they will also see where we mix it up a little bit and we jump forward to something that's more contemporary, or we jump back to something that's more historical. The gallery is fairly small and it's very open, and that was part of the plan as well, is that a visitor who is in the 19th century could turn around and literally look in the middle of the 20th century as well. So in terms of the time periods that are covered, it's really all together, and you're meant to feel how organic everything is and the connections that exist between different time periods.
What I hope people will take away from this exhibition is a wider view, a more diverse, pluralistic approach to looking at both photography, but in the same way, the way photography looks at them, the way lives are interacted with this medium and recorded by and documented. This is part of our storytelling, and it's wider than the history books have said to date, so we're having a go at it.
And I think I would second all of that and add that we hope that visitors will be as excited as we are by the work that they see. There is a great amount of emotion, just as there is in humanity. Photography parallels the development of humanity in the last 170 years very closely. And it's as rich and diverse and interesting as the people of the world.